evening to you all. On behalf of MIST Aeronautics and Astronautics Club, I, Ashmita Sharkar, and my friend Shikdar Maghi will be hosting our today's session called Workshop on Aviation Engineering. So today we have Mr. Madip Kumar Joshi, who is a foreign aviation professional, currently working with NOVOAIR Bangladesh and the holder of B2 and C licenses. He has also worked with Guna Air and Buddha Air of Nepal. He has about 17 years of experience while working with the ATR 42, ATR 72, Beach, C, and D aircrafts. So today we will be knowing more about his career journey and some profound aviation professional ideas. So without further ado, I would ask Sir to introduce himself to us today.
Yeah, it's my turn now.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you're listening, everybody?
Sir, you're audible.
Okay. Okay, I'll join the meeting. Okay, good evening, everybody. I'm Madip Joshi. I'm from Nepal, and I've started this career since 2000, and I'm in the aviation field from last 17 years continuously. And before that, I did my graduation on engineering from Chennai, India, 2003. Then immediately I joined the one private organization in Nepal. It is the leading airlines in Nepal. Then the journey was continuing till now. It is running like that. And I'm here in Bangladesh since last 2 years. I came here on July 2018, and continuing here with the NOVOAIR as a licensed engineer. And I have type rated on Beechcraft, ATR 42, ATR 72. Beechcraft is manufactured in America. And I've got first type rating in 2009. Since then, as a type rated engineer, I'm working in this field for 11 years. But total my experience is gone back to and it's like 17 years plus. And then Asmita, hello.
Thank you for your introduction, sir. So now I would like to thank our faculty advisor of MAC and our respected assistant professor at the Department of Aeronautical Engineering, Mizanur Rahman sir, for his profound guidance and help during this session. MAC really acknowledges the effort you took for organizing the session with us. So we would like to hear a few words from you as well, sir. Sir, please.
Okay, assalamu alaikum and good evening to everyone. So first of all, it's my absolute pleasure to be with everyone, this amazing panel and the audience here today. So firstly, big thanks goes to Mr. Madip Kumar Joshi, our guest for the day, for accepting the invite to attend this session. Honestly, it's really inspiring to see all the positive response we have received for this session. We have received responses from students, professionals, academics from all over the world, all over Bangladesh at least, and some parts of the world, like our students who are studying in abroad, they have also responded very positively. And of course, I would like to thank our respected Commodore Salam sir, head of the Aeronautical Department, for guiding and inspiring us in every sort of these initiatives and being really like the father figure of Aeronautical Engineering Academy in Bangladesh. And of course, big thanks and big cheers to the MAC team for being instrumental in coordinating and materializing this session. And of course, thank you very much for inviting me to say a few words with you. But this session is all about you. This session is all about Madip and the audience. So I feel honored to be here. I will not take any more time. Thanks for everything. I just want to sit back, relax, and enjoy the session. Up to you. Please proceed.
Thank you, Mizan.
Thank you, sir. We really hope you enjoy today's session. So now that we are all geared up for the session, shall we start our discussion, right, Maggie?
Yes, I think that's what we should do.
Okay, so the first thing, obviously, would be asking to know from you, sir, is your career journey from your graduation till today. So, why exactly into aeronautical engineering?
Yeah, it's a slightly long story. Probably people didn't
Sure thing, sir. Go ahead.
didn't got it that time also. In 1998, so, I completed my like a science from science background at plus two. Then after I was looking for doing some graduation course on any engineering. I was really interested in engineering. Suddenly, one of my friends suggested me. That time, aviation was not like that. It was a very much aeronautical engineering at that time was like very like a child. It was infant at that time, and somebody give me some reference to go to the Chennai and do the some aeronautical. That time, I really saying you in 1990, I even didn't see the aircraft how it was, but I was really interested to join the like to become an aeronautical engineer at that time. Then I started my personal career and I went to the Chennai, India, and it was one of the great places to have lots of engineering things and I keep continuing there and I did my graduation and it took me like in 4 years plus and 4.5 years around I completed I have a certificate and came back to Nepal. That time I didn't know really now you people have lots of exposure and things but that time it was not like that. There was no internet available at that time. Internet was there but it was very much limited and I started career at that time. When I came back, and I registered in the Nepal government. That time, I was the 49th member aeronautical engineers on Nepal. It is the like only 50 engineer, even not 50 was at that time aeronautical engineers and but immediately I got the job. I started the things, but things was not going easily initially. What I thought, what I imagined was not the same. We have a lots of a struggle. We have to lots of a struggle because the aviation was also in the very initial stage in Nepal also. It was not groomed up like today's and lots of confusion was there. Then I have to get my license after that. Then I started studying again. And main thing is, first completing graduation was not too much difficult. I did it, but I studied hard. But getting license was much more tougher than getting graduation in engineering. It was a really, but I got lots of knowledge about the things, lots of things going forward and like working together with the colleagues, getting experiences. And then after I got all the basics paper completed by 2007 and within 3-4 years. But again, I have to wait 2 more years to get the type rating for my type training because my company didn't want at that time. And after 2 years, I got that privilege and got my type rating in 2009. Then after life becomes much more easier. And since then, it is like I'm satisfied with what I have got. I'm happy with the what I got in my career.
So your journey was, of course, very hard for anyone who starts something. The first batches really have to go through a lot to get that. So, sir, quoting your statement, getting license is a lot harder than getting a graduation degree. But
Exactly.
even then, sir, we know that you have 2 licenses. Can you share with us the whole process of getting this license and how
Exactly.
was your experience?
Yeah, exactly. I want to say like that. Previously, the licensing things was like ICAO type 2 in Nepal also, in Bangladesh also. Still recently, it was in Bangladesh also. We have having us like the same environment, like in Bangladesh, like in India, like in Nepal. We are in the almost like the same environment. That's what I can share you much more about my experience, and you can take this thing positively. Okay. It is almost like I'm not from the Europe, not from the some other places. And so I am also grown up with the same people like you. And the main process of licensing is 3 steps. Okay. Now previously it was like a ICAO type 2, like the Civil Aviation Organization type 2 license they used to issue. But recently the South Asian, with the start, they started the one SARI process, South Asian Regional Associate. With this, now we are going to, Bangladesh also now going to the YASA module. Now part 66 module, they have gone through a license process. Previously, it was very complicated. No exams used to be held regular basis, a long time, sometimes 1 year, sometimes 2 years. But now Bangladesh also having some problem here, but maybe after few months or few years, maybe 1 year later, they will organize everything back. But in Nepal, it is already organized. They started the process slightly early. Then in Nepal, I got that ICAO type. We have to write the different papers. Okay, I have to write the different papers, different things. There are lots of 4 to 5 modules were there. These were the very difficult papers, and you have to. This is all like objective type. Now also now Bangladesh has gone to the YASA type. You must have some experiences on aviation. Then you can appear on that exams. You have to pass certain like 12, 13 papers are there. If you pass this, then you will have a basic license. But that is not enough. Basic license is the basic criteria. Then you have to have one type rating. For that, you have to go through what type training. It is slightly costlier, and you cannot have your own. Some company must recommend you to get that type trainings. After getting type training, you will have the license. But most important process is first get the YASA papers passed out. Some module, 13, 14 modules are there. You have to pass it out. Then you have to get the type training. Then you will get the license and the company authorization process will start. The main core thing is what, it is the very tough initially. To get the license is why it is tough, because it's take a lots of responsibility. You cannot give a license to anybody. A license means like government is giving you some authority for the safety of the people. When you get the license and when you start signing the aircraft, that means you are not from companies paying for you for your sign off, but you are not the part of the company. You are the part of the government. You are the part of the civil aviation. You are the part of the aviation ministry. They have given you, authorized you a certain license, certain like authority. With that, you can release the aircraft, but you are not you are working for the company, but exactly you are helping the government to fly the aircraft. That's why it is a very complicated issue. When to sign the aircraft, when to release the aircraft, when not to release the aircraft, it's under your jurisdictions. That's why it is so tough. It is deciding, taking the final decision is very tough. That's why government also don't issue the license radially. It is not like getting the graduation certificate. Getting license is because it life is matters. So many people will fly. That's why this slightly it is restrictive, and they will raise the lots of questions. You have to have a much more competence. You have to prove yourself that you can do it with your confidence and everything. Then government will give you a license, like civil aviation CAP will give you a license. That is the best process. Is slightly complicated, but main thing is at that time you are working under the aviations. That's why financially you will have some backup from the company, and you can continue these things. At least 5 years it will take to take the initially from completing your graduation, and when you join the company, at least 5 years it will take to get the license, initial license. When you get the first license, then other type ratings are much easier to get. This 5 years is, I think, the first 5 years after in the like a normal the civil aviation, if you are joining the maintenance department or some civil aviation on the country, then the first 5 years is very tough. Do you got it, my point? Are you
Yes,
getting?
sir. Thank you for sharing the licensing process in a detailed way. We really are grateful to professionals like you for helping us keep safe and keeping having the ensuring us our safe flight. So thanks to all of you for that. So moving on to your working experience. So tell us a few words about your working experience in Bangladesh. Like, what do you really feel about our people, our diversified culture, and our aviation industry?
Yeah, first of all, whenever you go anywhere, the first problem is the food, you know. But my food is and here food is almost same. We eat the same like a rice, dal, and everything. That's why that thing I didn't got much problem. Second one is the language. And language I can understand lots of Bengali. You know, that's why I have too much pressure. You know? I cannot speak properly, but I can understand almost 80 to 90%.
That is also great. That is actually
Yeah,
very.
yeah. That's why for me, it was become like a second home, and I really enjoy the weather also. Sometimes it is tough because the aviation we have to work. It is not under the AC rooms, you know. We have to go to the ramp and feel. We have to have the real experience, real world experience. That's why it is slightly tough, but it's still I like almost everything because initially the temperature was slightly higher than Kathmandu. Weather was good there, low temperatures. But recently, I'm also adapt with these things, and now I think I'm enjoying it a little bit more than previous. And I think culturally wise, aviation actually not grown up to the mark. I'm not satisfied with the growth of the aviation in Bangladesh. The same process was grown in Nepal also, but they are now in much more comfortable positions, or there is having lots of airlines, sustainable airlines. The main problem here, I find it is really is that no company is lasting longer. This is the big problem. You know, now only how is that so big a country, such a huge population, big country, only having two or three recognized airlines? Yes, this is not possible. And at least we must have 6 to 7 airlines, recognized airlines. So Nepal is a very small country with like only 25 million population. Now in here you can see almost like 180 million population and having a very less airlines. I'm not happy with that, but the initiation is good. Now, particularly, I can say about the NOVOAIR because I'm working with that. You know, they are having a very positive mentality, doing well. But this pandemic has given some restriction on them also, and maybe the aviation, the growth, the rate of growth will slow the process, and it will take some time to recover. I think some main thing is some airlines has to come and it has to sustain for at least 20, 30 years, you know, continuously running. Then only aviation will grow. Like in Nepal, also previously, like the same thing. All airlines used to come, start doing the business 5, 6 years, then they collapsed. And again, in another airlines, like initially, so many airlines came and gone. But 2, 3 airlines, now they are running for now 23 years, 24 years. And that's why these airlines has make a sustainable growth in aviation. Like same thing is here. Some company has to last longer. The main thing is the positive mentality of investors or owners. If they invested properly, and it is a long time growth, a long time process. Aviation is not like an instant business. You do the business and get the everything. It is the long term process. You have to invest it a lot, a huge amount of money. Aircraft is very costly, and you will get the return in the longer process. But it is a very reputed business. You know, everything is like a reflected everything. If you own airlines, that means a lot everywhere in the world also. That's what I think. But I think the process, the main thing is from government side also, or from the civil aviation of CAB also. I think they are doing their best, but it is not up to the mark. Something has to do, something has to change, then only it can grow. But main thing is ultimately saying everything. I'm very optimistic on this all things. You younger people has to come on this field. Younger people has to come on this field. They have to do a struggle. I said 5 years is the most struggling phase. You have to struggle this first 5 years. If you got that done with the appropriate, with a good positive intention, then you will do better. I think young generation is required in aviation. That's what I think.
Yes, we are very glad that you are enjoying here, and we also hope that the state of Bangladesh aviation will prosper further. So now, if we move on to the next question, so we know that you already have experience of working in three different airlines.
Yeah.
So if you could enlighten us on how to get started and progress on an airlines industry.
Please, yes, say me once again. I'm not getting you.
So can you enlighten us on how to get started and progress on an airline
Okay,
industry?
okay, okay. Thank you. Then, first of all, the process is the same. You have to, after their graduation, you have to find some job, and then join accordingly. Join accordingly. If you get some airlines, and join accordingly. Then later phase, you have to start the licensing process. Whoever come here, I'm not. Lots of my colleagues, my friends, they are working with us, with me especially. These guys are maybe not serious enough for these processes. But my main theme is what you want to do. You have to be assure yourself that what you want to do in your future. Whether you want to join in aviation, like this aviation sector, and do accordingly, or whether you want to go abroad for further study, or whether you want to join another field. You have to make assure yourself first. You just come here without any plan, without anything, and after 2 years or 3 years, the people get frustrated, and they are not on the right track also. And yes, I also got frustrated when I started the process. I was like too much frustrated. It's frustration comes wherever you go. I'm definitely saying some phase of life these things will come, but how much fight you can do it, how much you can take the risks, and you can go further. You have to struggle, but the struggle is the process and everything. The main thing is you have to focus on the licensing. Okay, whatever the job you are doing, okay, that is for your experiences, that is for your good things. It will keep continuing, but you focus yourself, keep studying, keep studying, keep studying. That is the only thing you can do. Keep studying on the different idea, take the different ideas from your seniors, keep studying, focusing on the licensing process. If you got license within 5 years, then I think in Bangladesh you have the very good prospect, because there is still engineering department or licensing department, or licensing is run by the most of the airlines is supported by the foreign engineers. If you people come up over and have a good experience and good license, if you complete the licensing process, then you will people lead the way. I'm for sure. That's why I see the very positivity here. One thing is like it is not grown too much, and some people get frustrated. But the opportunity is there where things are not grown up. When things are not grown up, you will have the opportunity. You will be the leader. Like I can give an example of recent Mizan, is your assistant professor. I worked with him for 2 years. He was the one very good prospect in aviation. Due to his, I think, personal problems, or maybe due to his one reason, he joined some government jobs. That is different, but I thought he's the one of the guy who could lead the company further, and he was doing very nice here. Like this type of, now other people from your institution also working with me, your seniors. There also some people are doing very good, but many people are leaving the country, going further for study. These are the another questions. That's also a good prospect. Everybody should not stay in Bangladesh. Some people you can go further and pursue your career on further things, but still there is I think there is lots of opportunities there, but you have to be sincere yourself. I already said, in anything, like if you go for the some big project like in the rocket science or whatever aerospace engineering and master, you do the master, you have to do the PhD for the career. Getting job there also not so easy. It is like everywhere you have to have a lots of struggle. Here also the same. If you raise a one level, raise your bar, or like get the license, then I think financially, by any aspect, you can easily survive. You can easily survive. Your seniors are doing good in NOVOAIR also. Your seniors are there. They're really doing good.
Thank you, sir. Just as you mentioned that you feel sad yourself that Mizan sir left aviation, I would actually differ that we are very lucky that Mizan sir left aviation and joined us, because this is a big opportunity, like having him on the squad, and without him today we won't even have you today with us too. So thanks to him, and we are lucky. So.
Okay, it's all right.
So moving on, we would actually host a quick brief answer session right now. I would rapidly ask you a few questions, and I would expect you to answer as briefly and as precisely as possible. Are you ready, sir?
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay. So the first question is, we while studying engineering, I'm sure you and all of us here have crammed thousands and thousands of mathematics, derivations, and formulas into our heads constantly. So how much of all those maths do you and other aviation professionals really use in your day-to-day lives?
Just I want to say one word on this.
Yeah, sure thing, sir.
Maths is like common sense.
Yes, sir.
Maths is the common sense. If you don't know maths, you will not develop your common sense. And common sense is works everywhere. It is works in space science, it is work in rocket science, it works everywhere, it works in aviation also. You must have a maths. Good. It is like a common sense, it is like a basics.
That is such a beautiful answer. So, in maintenance works, we have seen that there is a lot of coordination going. So, how is practically this coordination and balance maintained?
Yeah, exactly. That is the very a long process. I cannot explain briefly. It is like there's two, three departments are there in engineering itself. One is the like say you will know later on. Like I slightly describe these things. One part is the CAMO part. One part is the AMO part. CAMO is the Continuous Airwork Management Organization. One is the AMO and aircraft maintenance organization. These two things are collaborating with each other and do all the maintenance. In the maintenance, each and everything, you cannot touch the aircraft without any written work orders, or you'll get the one card that is written what you have to do. Only that thing you can do. Understand? And there is a two, three processes there. One is like keeping the aircraft airworthy. You have to have a continuous maintenance. One maintenance process is there. These things are there, and you have to change the some component which is life controlled. Okay, like engine is still running, but at a certain time, it's a time control, life control item. At a certain time, you have to replace it. And these things, all the logs, all the aircraft's hours and its cycles are calculating every day, each and every day. And these things are come to our department, like we are the final stage of execution level. Then the cards comes, then what we have to do, then we'll distribute accordingly. We have a very good plan. We have a very good plan. We'll do the what. And we are the like inspectors. We are licensed for the like the inspectors. All the people will do the job and will finally inspect and sign the cards. That means when we sign the cards, that means it is completed, the job is done. Then all the tax, each tax, like for one maintenance, some 100, 200, sometimes 300, 400 individual tax will be there. Each will compiled, and after completion, each will see the signs by our technicians or mechanics from the licensed engineers. Each card we have to sign, verify the things, and there is certain process out there. It is a really beautiful process, and main thing is record keeping and tracking your things is the best way, to the maintenance in aircraft. For everything, even you replace one screw on the aircraft, you have to have some record on it. Okay, when you replace the screw, whether this part number is specific or not, these are very important. That's why aviation is slightly different than all other fields. It is specific. It is very specific. It is a slightly long process. Uh, Later on phase, when you join the aviation, then you go through this all the processes. It is but beautiful process.
That sounds a lot of work to do. So, what are some of the best ways to research about airline companies and aerospace companies, sir?
Actually, this is the big problem. When we born in the South Asian regions, this is the one of the big problem for us, that our licensings, our these things are not readily recognized everywhere in the world. This is the one of the process. Now YASA is coming. If you got the license process, then you will be like the world. World is open for you after that. But now, current situation, it is not open like that. Maybe after 5 years, we can go and work on the USA, or we can go work in the UK and everywhere, if the process is completed accordingly. Okay. For these things, if you our field are so limited. Uh, Currently, I cannot say when after your graduation, if you want to do the aviation jobs, okay, you are not open for any countries. Maybe you can join some Gulf countries as a mechanic or technicians, but their marketing focus is completely on the big countries like India and these things. They are not coming continuously to the Nepal and searching these things. But one thing is for sure, like you can like a Qatar Airways, Emirates, these things, you go to their sites, their vacancies are open on their sites. You can apply, and if you got some chance to have an interview, they will call you there with the full tickets, full hotels, everything. They will call you there, and this is the process. But for aviation in Bangladesh, it is so limited. Limited organizations are there. I think you can go and explore all the aviation are situated here in itself in Dhaka. Go to their head offices, send your resumes, and they will call you back. I think this is the here by internet, by searching or online applications doesn't work too much. You must have a physical presence there, and people will have, like, you just have some conversation, take your biodata and go to the East Airlines and give them. If they really think you are useful, they will come to you, of course. But if you for foreign countries like in the Emirates or Gulf countries, you have to apply online. Their online websites are there. Then if they select you, they will go for further process.
Okay, sir. So, while preparing for this session, we have actually received a lot of questions on the academic interest of aviation, like how actually the plane flies or how the engine works. So, to you, what are some of the easy sources of learning about these topics? Like, where do you seek help from whenever you feel the necessity of?
Yeah, exactly. Saying there is lots of books out there. Main thing is this aviation, and when you go to the aviation, it is like a very much limited information sources are there. Like some like FA books, 9A, 15A, some books are there. I think you have gone through this, or some American government FA has published some books out there. These things you have to go through, and other some like aviation related books are there. And because I left the education, like your graduation level, these things long time before, And now I am continuously focusing on our own manuals. We have every aircraft has their own manuals. It has lots of information. We have to go through the. Now I become like a more involved on the not like a general ideas. I'm very specific now. I'm become too much specific. Even I now don't want to explain that these things how the flap works or how the aileron works. These are become for me it is like very general ideas. I'm focusing on my particular things. Nowadays I'm studying on my own books, but it is a studying is the beautiful process. I'm also nowadays also after involving in this aviation for 17 years. I every day study maybe more than you people, Lots of things is coming. I have to analyze the each and everything. And one beautiful example I can say my seniors who is now working in Nepal, he's now 82 years. He's the pioneer of Nepal aviation back in, he got license in 1964. What he used to say, now he's every day starting with his grandchild, and that is the most beautiful. If you are in aviation, the start is the continuous process. Lots of books are there, but main thing is aviation is slightly it is not like other streams. It is like where it is streamlined, but aviation it has the wide effect. You can be for anything. Some books are too much puzzling with some contradictions are there. Okay. One book is saying if you increase like this, it will have a different impact.
Yes.
Other book is saying another thing, that I also used to face. But everything is correct because the different moment, different time, it works like that. It works like that. Maybe there. That's why it is not like other kids. Like if you are studying BSc in physics, BSc in chemistry, or something like other electrical engineering, mechanical engineering, all have some set book formats. We don't have like that. Unfortunate, or it is a fortunate that we can explore on that. Lots of things there you can explore. You can use every books. Find something new. You will find when you use the next book, you'll find something new. That is the very interesting. If you, I don't recommend you particular books, but lots of books are there. You have to go through the process.
Sir, I must say this that your words really show how much passionate and inspired you are really in aviation.
Yeah.
So, moving on to like you have mentioned earlier about your career challenges and licensing difficulties and everything. So, do you really think that the number of female professionals being very less than the male professionals is actually for that reason? Like, what are actually the scopes of females into aviation?
Actually, the aviation was nothing. Most interesting thing in the aviation is aircraft was initially manufactured by the one cycle mechanics. Wright brothers were the cycle mechanics.
Yes, sir.
That's why it started very raw. Aviation was nothing till Second World War. In Second World War, in 1938, when the Second World War started, all the aviation research has been done because the air superiority is the most important at that time. When everybody invested so much, whole government resources was funded on that aviation things. At that time, jet engine was developed, lots of things was improved. But aviation from initially, one thing is their aviation was run by the Air Force guys. Everywhere on the world. The language, the everything. Even I cannot say some words, they use this a very rough words. And because why this is coming in aviation, this is coming due to the aviation as the background from the armies, like these things. And only after 80s, the civil people has entered on the aviations. That's why when it was army, you can imagine previously there was no scope for the women to go in the army and these things. But after 80s, when these things are coming, now recently in Nepal also lots of girls are very much enthusiastic and want to join the aviation. They have joined also. It's really tough. For you, it will be tough. But one thing is very positive sign is that in India, lots of girls are now license holder. They are working like a male professionals. They are very much. Then I can see if you have to first everywhere. If you want to be the pioneer, you have to give much more. Understand? Why you join the aeronautical engineering? Because you want to be the pioneer in this field. Everybody suggested you aeronautical is not for you, not for girls. Maybe your fathers, your relatives, everybody says. But why you want to join in aviation? That is the more core thing is that you want to be pioneer. Why not for me? Then why not for you, air? Come up and join. Some difficulties will be there, but you have to resist that things. You have to go further. If you want to be a pioneer, you have to take the risks. You have to lots of. You have to take the pain also.
Yes, sir. The starting is always difficult in every sector.
Yeah.
So, what are really the scopes of some non-aeronautical engineering background into aviation?
Yeah, of course. Previously, aviation was run by the non-aeronautical people. Aeronautical engineering, when it started in Bangladesh, maybe it was started 7 to 8, 10 years back, isn't it? Before
Yes.
there was not aeronautical colleges was there. In India, also the same. It was in India. It started after 80s, 80s, 90s, and after 2000 only it has boomed. But previously there was nothing was there. Mechanical engineers and electronics engineers used to take all the responsibility of these things. But now, if the aeronautical engineers are coming, I think they must get the privilege of doing these things. Other people can join. Other people can join, but aeronautical people must have the first privileges. That is my point because they study the same background. Like you cannot, after getting the aeronautical degree, you cannot go to the work in some factories like a mechanical engineer. They have their scopes. Okay, but in aviation also, other engineering have the same scope. Aeronautical engineering, particularly, I want to say, is the combination of all engineering. It has electrical, it has electronics, it has mechanical, it has chemical engineering, it has lots of engineering. It is combined. It is combined. Like aeronautical is the when we used to study the aeronautical at that time, we used to say this is the combination of all engineering. Lots of things there. There is, of course, the scope is there for other people also. But I prefer the aeronautical people must come and aeronautical background, they must explore these things.
Thank you, sir, for all your to the point answers. With this, we are ending our short question answer session. And before we return to our previous session, I'd like to ask all the guests if you have any questions for today's chief guest, I would ask you to prepare them and write them in the comment section. We'll read them out after we finish our question. So, now returning to our main session. So, what are the challenges that you face in your career journey the most, and what are your advices for the newcomer?
Yeah, in my career, initially, the first 5 years was very tough. And I was lots of frustrated at that time also. But I didn't keep my eyes. Keep my eyes, and my target was very straightforward. I always seeing on the top. There's lots of politics was there in everywhere it is there, and if you are smart enough, people will humiliate you also. That no problem. But keep faith on you. My target was straightforward. I want to get the license at any cost. That was my simple. That's why other things, lots of things came during the promotion in the companies. People are just like emulating you. These things are there, but I never really care about. Then when I got the license, you can imagine from officer, I directly jumped to the manager level. Still, the people who used to emulate me, they are senior officer, technical officer, lots of processes there. I never care. I really jumped from like a junior officer to directly manager first. That was happened for me, and it take me time. It take me time, 5 6 years. But that's right. I was very focused. I always say my colleagues and my juniors also there, be focused. Don't don't hesitate, don't be afraid, or don't be don't take any pain from these small things. You are not getting the you are not getting the increments, you are not getting the promotions. These are nothing for you. If your target is big enough, I always say just get the license. That's all. If you want to be in aviation field, just get the license, then rest you will be the king. That's all. That's all. Just focus on licensing. If you want to be in aviation, focus on licensing.
Thank you for the inspiring words, sir. So, now going into this COVID 19 situation, what do you think really the post COVID 19 situation in aviation look like? Like, what is the new normal in aviation in your perspective, and what are the future global trends in aviation?
It's really it's taking a lots of toll on aviation. Aviation is losing a lot. It is unprecedented things, especially aviation and tourism sector is losing a lot. And main thing is it will take a lot of time to recover. But nothing has lost. It is not like a war or something else destroyed. Everything is in place. Just need a one click, one ignition. Maybe let's see. Now main thing is not the COVID or nothing, not the death or not. I think these things are not important. Fear of people, fear inside the people is main taking the everything. First, the fear from the people has to remove, and then only. But really saying, this is giving the like we have gone back to 2 3 years back more, and maybe it will take up to 2023, 2024 to recover the things well. When it will recover, it will boom again. I think for the new generation, it is still a good prospect that don't frustrate it, because after the 2 3 years it will really boom again, so much boom that nobody can expect it. Like that it will happen. It used to happen before also, and again it will happen, I'm for sure. But we have to wait 1 or 2 years for recovery phase.
Thank you, sir, for your answer. So, sir, now I'd like to ask you, what is the outlook of aviation industry in Bangladesh, and where do you think will it stand in the near future?
Yeah, that's what I talked a little bit about this previously also. Main thing is the some honors has to come. This is like a corporate commitment. Understand? Some we are nobody to change the things. Some corporate peoples with some money and have a positive attitude toward the aviation has to come. They really need to invest, but aviation has a very good prospectus here. I every day used to say this is a big youth population country, and it has a huge opportunities also for aviation also. And because they came and invested, and but they are not really uh, onto it. They are not really positive mindset. They came up with a positive mindset. In aviation, if you are investing, you have to have a long-term visions, and it will pay a long time back. It will not come overnight. If you invest, and main thing is aviation is not like other business with a little bit money you can do the aviation. You need a lot of. That's right. That's why it takes time, but I think nowadays some positives are there. But still, with this, that's I say with this COVID situation, while the things will happen, I cannot exactly say. But I think some ah that is very difficult thing to say, But the main thing is only one thing is sure: whatever the airlines comes or goes, the aviators, we are the aviators, like engineers, pilots, we are always the same. Understand? I can give you guarantee that aviation changes, honors changes, people never changes everywhere in the world. My seniors in Nepal, they are working in aviation for last 60 years. They are still the same guys. They are working. They have worked under the lots of honors, different airlines is the same thing. Here also the same situation. That's why aviation, it is not all about honors. It is all about the people we work for, like pilots and engineers, especially say. These are the people that taking the airlines ahead. That's why situation is not good right now, but it will recover. And aviation has a very good prospectus in Bangladesh. What I think is because it is now economic. It always economic development and aviation is the like a two sides of a coin. If one thing is economic growth, the middle class people will grow. And they will fly the aircraft. And the same thing is it will grow together. And nowadays, this situation, Bangladesh is one of the highly rising with the GDP growing country in the world, and the aviation will also boom the same way. I'm pretty sure.
So thank you for your question. So now we'll be moving on to the guest question. Our questions are over. So that we got is from Nafis Ahmed, and he is asking, after getting certificate here, is it possible to get a job in airlines in any other country?
Exactly. That is the big questions. You can apply, but it's a very limited chance because they always foreign airlines they always look for some people who have the experiences. In aviation, experience is the most important thing. At least if you work 1-2 years here and you apply, then your resume, your biodata will be the different for them. Understand? First, getting the some OJTs and getting a 1-2 years experience is most important after getting your certificate. But still, you can try. I cannot say exactly, but because in the other countries also, the people they look after some people who have some experiences, people like that. This is there.
Okay. So I have got one question privately from Zahidul Islam Hamdi. He asks that although most of the companies of Bangladesh Aviation really have engineering teams and everything, so but still they are completing the very complicated maintenance works in foreign countries. So what can be the possible reasons behind this, sir?
I couldn't get you proper. What is that?
Sir, this means despite our country's aviation companies already have engineering teams, but most of our complicated tasks of a maintenance maybe sometimes is performed in foreign countries. So, what can be the
Yeah.
reasons for it?
That need a huge investment. That's what that is called. And they have to invest on the maintenance things. That is slightly complicated because main thing is the process. Why not started like doing the major maintenance here? Why it is not started? Because company are not like previously you can see the history like United Airlines and other GMG or something. These airlines lasted 8-9 years. Then that time you have to invest some money for your major maintenance things. And for this you need the facility. Here is the facility like hangars, space, some equipments, test equipments. These things are need some cost, and it is slightly costlier, and they have no vision. I can strictly say they have no vision that either see one thing is sure, you invest certain amount now and it is costly, you think it is costly, but this will pay you longer. Okay, like I can give you an example. If you buy one lathe machine or something like a shaper or planer, then it is cost like 1 lakh 2 lakh taka. But with this initial investment, you can work with this for like next 10 years. The same thing is here. They are not visionary enough to invest on those things. They just want instant money without investing the proper. If you have to do the long-term maintenance or major maintenances here, you have to invest certain amounts. Then you can do it. You can do it, but they are like sustaining for 8-9 years, then the company is collapsing. That's why they couldn't develop that procedures. Nepal also the situation was same in 90s when the company now running for 23 years from Nepal, no airlines, no aircraft goes outside for the major maintenance. We do like I working in the company in there. We do the all the major checks, everything with there. Also, I was on that project also here. I'm repeatedly giving suggestion to the management and everybody, the owners that we can do it here. You need to have certain investment on it. Now, I think they are under the process. Let's see what happens. If they started doing this is the best things happens for an engineering team, for an engineer. If you started doing the major maintenances, then it will be the best thing.
Okay, sir. I would ask everyone in the chat box to write your questions, but please be as precise as possible and please don't try to be repetitive. Like we have completed a lot of questions during the entire session, so we would actually expect your assistance
Okay.
on that part. That please be as precise as possible now. So, Mackie, please continue the session.
Okay, so the next question that we have is from PR Devnath, and he's asking how should he prepare himself for a bright future in aviation industry as he's a student of the first batch of a Bangladeshi Aviation and Aerospace University.
That's simple. You have to focus on your study. Okay, don't think too much. Whatever the course is there, you now think about it. See the dream. You can dream it, but don't be too much judgmental. Just go through your course study hard, try to score the good marks. Don't think too much. After completion, whatever happens, it will be the future. Okay.
Thank you, sir. So Shakik asks that if he turns an aviation professional, so is there any disadvantages of changing airlines frequently, even if one gets some extra benefits from the new airlines? Like, are there any disadvantages of changing it frequently?
That is the complicated questions. You have to see the situations. You can decide according. I don't think any disadvantage, but one thing is like if you are learning something, and you have
Yes, sir.
to see all the pros and cons. you know if you think your career will grow with the new things, you can go with it, but don't go for the money. Don't go for the 2000, 4000, 5000 money. Money is not important while growing the careers. First go for the career, first see the career, then after you can go for money.
Thank you, sir. So, although we have answered this question in the session already, but there are a lot of people who are asking about the opportunity in aviation industry for mechanical engineers and computer science engineers. And specifically, one is asking if there is any opportunity in Nepal for the students who are studying from mechanical or computer science in aviation industry.
Yeah, that is the different thing. To go work in Nepal, you need to have certain. Main thing is like I came here it's due to not as a graduate engineer. I have some specific, due to my licensing. And to go abroad, work abroad, you must have a certain special on it. Okay, even if you are just a graduate, Nepali company look for you. What will be the difference on you? Like why I come here, because there is in aviation, in Bangladesh aviation, there is nobody having the type rating of this particular aircraft. That's why I came here. That's why you have to have some specific on you, then only you get opportunities. You must have something different quality.
Okay, sir. So this also answers Rakib's question as if mechanical engineers can work in airlines. So moving on to our next question. This is actually a very fun and nice question, which I would also want to know. Our friend Fahim Shariar has asked that which food in Bangladesh do you like the most?
Yeah, this everyday, this common everyday you people eat these things are also best for me, because from the childhood I started eating this rice and these things. I like this. I don't like the pizza burger things, especially. I don't like these foreign foods. I like the rice, The fish, especially. Hilsa, you people's favorite. It's my favorite too. I like this. I like the same food as you like.
That is great to know. So I have a question myself. So have you ever tried our traditional dresses like the Punjabi, pajama? Have you worn them?
A very good question.
Yeah, previously, when I was in Nepal, my wife used to try with me, but I think it's not suitable for me. She used to purchase for me, but I didn't wear too much that things. I'm comfortable with my short pants like that. But it's really good. I'll try one day. Thank you for your suggestion.
You're welcome, sir. So, Sabbi Shohan asks, how much time and experience does one need to get a license? Like, probable estimated time.
That's I say minimum 5 years.
5 years. Okay,
If you get within 5 to 7 years, it is very good.
okay, sir.
The next question that we have is from Saria Hannan. She's asking, is there a particular phase of flight where fatigue-related accidents occur more than others?
I didn't get it. Your sound was not coming.
So is there a particular phase of flight where fatigue-related accidents occur more than others?
Traffic related?
Fatigue-related.
Fatigue.
Yes, sir.
Fatigue. No, it's like generally a flight is very critical when it is descending or when it is in approach. The most difficult phase of the flight is either during the takeoff and the first one is during descent. Most of the accident happens during descent phase because lots of things you have to do. That time power is very low, and if you are not, if you meet with some crosswinds or some difficult weather, that time it will be very difficult for the pilot to decide. And recently, lots of like accident we have seen, like the Pakistan Airlines, like Indian Airlines, Air India's flight. This all are happened during the landing phase. This landing phase is the most critical phase of aviation things. Most of the accident happens on that phase, and another is the during the takeoff, having some single engine problems or these things. These things are, I think, if categorically I can say it's like 60% of incident happen during the descent phase or during the approach, and like other phases are also there. And weather is the main enemy of the aircraft. Due to the weather, lots of incidents are happening. Due to weather, pilots going to decide what to do. They are also the human being and having a lots of fatigue on that phase. And you can think it's normal that during descent, pilots got more fatigued, because they really flown long distance and they come, and it is a very tough period for the pilot to land the aircraft. This is the most difficult phase.
Understood, sir. So the next question is from Shafin, and he's asking, what kind of skills airlines find in engineers while hiring?
Confidence. You have to have confidence. Knowledge. By my experience, every people has a lot of good knowledge here also. Other engineers have a good knowledge, but I see one major part lacking is the confidence. You need to have a very good confidence. Confidence to release the aircraft. Confidence to, like you can say that this aircraft will fly. Okay, you have to, because you are the main source for captains to have the confidence. Captain, why they fly? With your confidence. Understand? If you are not confident enough, they will never get the confidence.
Yes, understood. So thank you for the answer. So the next question is from Afzal, and he is asking, what do you think about career perspectives on R&D sectors such as aircraft part modifications, along with MRO industry?
Yeah, and now in Bangladesh there is no MRO still now. Of course, if somebody come with that idea, it is the great idea. MRO is the great idea. For R&D section now, if some company, if they established the MRO, they started doing the maintenance of the other things. For you, that thing is, then you need the one R&D section. Lots of things they will do. But this is the like a huge investment is required. And till now, I didn't see any prospect on Bangladesh that MRO will develop. But it is, if they develop, that has the big opportunity. MRO is required there, actually required there. But nobody is looking on that section because it takes a lot of cost also. Like you previously, you asked one question: why our aircraft is going for major maintenance other countries, isn't it? If you can do it here, if you have one MRO, good MRO, why not here, isn't it? That's the main thing. Somebody has to come with the idea. Only businessman can do that, not us.
So we hope that someone will come up with this very soon.
Yeah, of course.
So the next question is from Shekhar Chaudhary. He wants you to share an experience of the toughest or most dangerous landing that you have experienced yourself.
What you say?
The most dangerous or the toughest landing that you have experienced yourself.
Because I don't usually fly, we don't
Yes,
to fly. That's why. Yeah, sometimes one time I was flying in Nepal with the captains with some problems, and we couldn't see the airport because the cloud was so low. Pilots were repetitively checking the things. Almost like a 6 attempt. After 6 attempts, we tried to land. Then we got landed on that airport, and we were all rotating all around, going all around. And one of the big experiences there. Sometimes you face the very much difficult weather also. These things are also there. Yeah, I have found few, but I'm not a regular. I used to fly the regularly. That's why I didn't experience too much thing like that.
Okay, sir. So this is like the last question we'll be taking since we have already overshoot time. So Rakib asks, how many times is a part of an aircraft checked and signed by engineers after replacement? Like after the critical parts of the aircraft are changed, how many parts are they checked? Like is there any specific time?
There is not so much specific, like if there is some if critical jobs are there, if this is the like a aircraft safety will hamper, then some people things and the engineers will duplicate these things. This is called the duplication process. Otherwise, normally by one engineer we used to sign and release the things. If something we found it is a very critical things, then by 2 engineers, this is called what duplicate process, and then we do that duplicate process with another engineer, and the same thing will repeat and you will sign the same thing. These things are there.
Thank you very much, sir, for all the answers. And thank you for being with us here today. We are very grateful for all the time that you gave us. And we are also thankful to Mizan sir for bringing you here today. So before parting, we'd like to hear some last words from you. Any advices for us?
My only one advice for you people, you are young, very intellectual, very intelligent guys. Main thing is don't focus too much thing. Whatever your course is there, focus on that. And main thing is be sincere with yourself. Whatever you are studying, be sincere with yourself. Don't try to take a shortcut. There is no shortcut actually. And don't take a big like dreams. Take the dreams is dreams, but every dreams has one certain procedures. You have to follow through procedures, and there is nothing right or wrong or nothing. No profession is good or bad. Everything has their own pros and cons. Okay? That's why whatever you choose, the leader will take the everything. Of course, in every profession there is opportunities, but you have to be smart enough, good enough, confident enough, competent enough, That thing is more important. Now, during the study time, study hard. Now, during the working time, working hard. During family time, give the family time, good time. That is the most thing is the life. Okay, I'm sharing with this experience with you. I feel very good. And this plan was slightly. Mizan was talking with me for a long time, like 2-3 months back. So finally, we did it. Okay, thank you for everybody. Thank you, Asmita. Thank you, other guys. Thank you, Mizan, everybody, for this session. I really enjoyed this with you. Maybe sometime we'll see together. We'll meet together also somewhere. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, sir, for enlightening us. And we hope that some of us from here will be seeing you and joining you in NOVOAIR soon.
It's my pleasure. It's my pleasure.
Looking forward to it, sir.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Okay. I'm leaving it. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, so with this, we are ending today's session. Thank you for joining Sir Mizan sir, Madip sir, and all our hosts and all the organizers. And thank you for our participants for being this patient and questioning this much. We actually couldn't take a few questions because of the shortage of time. So thank you all for participating, and we are ending our session today. Thank you.